Oh, honey girl, as you desperately try to imitate Black dialect, a culture that is clearly not yours, it's quite amusing to watch your people constantly hijack, assimilate, and appropriate things that had nothing to do with, and yet you are here boldly stepping on my page to claim that white people moved the world forward with technology, modern medicine, and higher living standards. Bless your indoctrinated little heart. You've been hoodwinked, bamboozled, and thoroughly deceived, and I guess it's my job to lay some real history on you and slap you awake with undeniable evidence about your people. Let's talk about it. Historically, your people have done nothing but hijack history, erase it, rewrite it to fit your convenient Eurocentric narrative. Y'all even try to whitewash Egypt, claiming that blonde-haired, blue-eyed, pale-skinned Europeans built the pyramids, despite the overwhelmingly historical and genetic evidence that Egypt was a Black African civilization. And let's not forget the hilarious irony, y'all aren't even built for Africa. Modern pale skins have the highest cases of skin cancer in North Africa because your mutation was never meant for that land. But y'all had to lie and rebrand Egypt as Middle Eastern to avoid admitting that Black people had thriving technology, advanced civilizations long before Europeans ever even bathed themselves regularly. But let's not talk about that. You claim that white people gave the world modern medicine. Oh, that's real cute. Meanwhile, your scholars have been obsessively studying ancient Black Egyptian medical texts like the Edwin Smith Papyrus, one of the oldest surgical manuals in existence. Ancient Egyptians were performing brain surgeries, setting broken bones, using medical plants long before Greece or Rome ever existed. But of course, y'all had to steal that knowledge and repackage it under the name of Hippocrates, Plato, and Pythagoras, who literally studied Egypt but somehow get all the credit for it. Even the Library of Alexandria, which held centuries of African and Middle Eastern knowledge, was burned down, conveniently erasing African intellectual contributions so Europeans could later claim everything as their own. Perhaps your Eurocentric education skipped over the fact that Moors, the Black Africans, Arabs, Muslims, and Hebrew Israelites ruled Spain for nearly 800 years, 711 through 1492. You see, before the Moors, Europeans were unwashed, disease-ridden, and scientifically illiterate. The Moors introduced algebra, chemistry, medicine, and advanced architecture. Y'all weren't even properly taking baths until you were shown by us how to clean yourselves. Let's be real. Before Africa's influence, Europe was in the Dark Ages, meaning y'all had no scientific, cultural, or technological advancement. But tell me how again white people moved the world forward? See, long before European colonization, Africa had thriving civilizations with complex engineering and metallurgy. But y'all love teaching in the schools that we had lived in huts. How cute. See, Great Zimbabwe had great advanced architecture, iron smelting, and city planning with no European influence whatsoever. What about Timbuktu? Mali Empire, one of the greatest centers of knowledge in history, housing thousands of manuscripts on medicine, astronomy, and law, and it all predated the European Renaissance. But sure, tell me how Africa was uncivilized? White colonialization didn't bring civilization. It stole resources, enslaved people, and burned down African schools to fabricate the myth that African had no civilization before Europeans. The Benin Kingdom had an advanced sewage system before Europe even had proper toilets. The Aztec, Mayans, and Incas built pyramids and irrigation systems and advanced astronomy before Europeans even knew what civilization was. And so what did the Europeans do? Massacre them, stole their gold. Then they had the audacity to claim they discovered America. What? Oh, and speaking of Columbus, you might want to read Dr. Ivan van Sertima's They Came Before Columbus, because Africans had already been to the Americas long before 1492. Columbus didn't discover anything. He invaded, committed genocide, and aren't we doing that again here today, yo people? But history conveniently leaves that part out. See, Black people are the true innovators. What would America be without Black people? all right, it wouldn't exist because it was black enslavement of my people who sustained Southern economies through farming and agricultural innovations. It was black purchasing power who still keeps this economy alive today. Benjamin Banneker, who actually designed Washington, D.C., a black inventor like Charles Drew, who came up with blood banks, and Dr. Jesse Russell, who came up with cell phone technology, revolutionized medicine and communication. Let's be honest, Europeans needed Africans to escape their own ignorance. During the Islamic Golden Age, African and Middle Eastern scholars preserved Greek and Roman texts, which later helped Europe escape the Dark Ages. Y'all were too far behind and too ignorant to understand science on your own. Without these scholars, much of what you call European knowledge wouldn't even exist. Even today, white nations continue to steal, kill, and destroy because it's all they've ever known. Didn't it say that their father was Satan? He's a liar. He's a thief. He's a stealer. Yeah. So when we talk about inventions, we're talking to people about cell phone technology, Dr. Jesse Russell. We're talking about refrigeration trucks with Frederick McKinley. We're talking about the traffic light with Jared Morgan. Find it hilarious that you have the nerve to defend white supremacy while sitting here enjoying black innovations, black culture, and black labor. Y'all thrive on what we do. See, here's the hard truth. Europeans didn't bring knowledge to the world. They took knowledge from others, erased history, and then pretended to be the source of civilization. But here's the best part. You will bow down to the very people that you've oppressed for centuries. It's written in God's word. And if you know anything about the Bible is true. So while you sit in your cognitive dissonance and delusions, the truth remains. Your entire legacy is built on theft, lies, and destruction. Thank you.